Hi, welcome to Czech Globe. Today we will talk about climate change now, in the past and in the future. Let's get started. Thank you for coming. Could you make a short self-introduction?
Hello, my name is Alexander Ač and I work as a research scientist at Czech Globe Institute. I'm dealing with the research on past climate conditions by means of isotopic content of tree ring data. And recently we have published one paper that was showing the climate conditions in Czech Republic over the past more than 2000 years. And it was also showing that there is a drying trend in Czech Republic. So that was one quite important result. And there are several related projects on reconstruction of past climate conditions. I'm also involved in research that is dealing with the calculation of greenhouse gas balance in the Czech Republic, and it's part of national inventory reporting. That is basically we calculate amount of carbon that is either going into or is being released from croplands and from agricultural lands in Czech Republic.
Your main focus of study is climate, and recently in media you hear a lot of global change, climate crisis. So what is actually going on?
Well, what is going on is that we have measurements of global temperature quite some time now. It's more than 150 years. And we know that global temperature is increasing, and we know it's increasing rapidly, especially in the last 30, 40 years. The temperature increase over the last century or so is more than 1 degree Celsius. And we also know that this increase is a result of basically human activities, and these human activities include burning of fossil fuels and deforestation and land use changes over the course of industrial revolution.
Okay, and is it something that is happening only recently, or was the climate changing?
Based on paleoclimate data, we know that past climate conditions were always changing. We know that there were periods that were much warmer than today. There were periods that were much cooler than today. And in many occasions, we also know why the climate was changing. So that is, we know why it was cooling and we know why it was also warming. We know the main driving factors of the past climate changes that were mostly, or obviously natural because there were no humans around, so it were always natural causes. Mostly they were related to changes in sun activities and orbital changes over the long term, and in few occasions rapid climate changes were caused by extraterrestrial impact of like asteroids and so on. So we know why the climate was changing in the past, and that comes back to the modern period. We also know why the climate is changing today. The difference is, why is it now different than in the past? Well, one difference is that it's us that is causing the global climate change, or global change. And the other, even more important difference compared to the past changes, the current climate change is much more fast, much faster, much more rapid than most or even maybe all of the climate changes in the past, based on what we know today.
Yeah, and what does it mean for the Earth or ecosystems? Isn't it a good thing because there is more CO2 and it's warmer, so it's better for plants?
Yeah, that's what people sometimes say, that more CO2, it's plant food, right? That's what we observe also here. It's good for plants, and we have, warmer conditions. So what is bad about it? To put it simply, it's like when you drive a car and you drive slowly, like let's say, 10 or 15 or even 20 kilometers per hour. So it's a slow driving, right? Nobody drives like that. But when there is a crash with a slow drive, basically you hit a wall. So when you drive slowly, then what? Generally nothing happens. You may crash, some window or the windscreen, but nothing happens. There is a little damage to the car, right? And that was with the climate in the past. Most of the changes are very slow, so the nature had a lot of time to adapt and to react properly, and there were no mass extinctions and so on. But when the changes are rapid, as it is happening now, and that's what we expect for the future, it's like when you drive much faster, right? So if you drive the same car, let's say 10 times faster, so instead of 10 kilometers per hour, you drive 100 kilometers per hour, and you crash the same wall, then your damage is much bigger, right? You can survive if you have a good car. If you drive even faster, like 20 times faster, then you drive 200 kilometers per hour, then you have a little chance to survive even in the best car with the best safety measures, airbags, and so on. And again, it's the same with climate. We know now that climate is changing, let's say, up to 20 to 50 times faster than during the changes over the interglacial periods, which were the most recent natural changes of climate. So today it's much faster, and that's the problem. Nature doesn't have enough time. By nature we mean, of course, biosphere, living things, animals, plants, other organisms. They don't have enough time to react, and a lot of species have already problems. That is, they are experiencing rapid, let's say, not directly extinctions, but a rapid decline in populations. Depends which species are we talking about. And some species are even taking advantage, right? That was also observed in the past. Some species can take advantage of, changing conditions. But most species, especially those species that we value, that we like, that we consider important, that are even beneficial to us, they are generally having problems. And those species that we don't like pathogens, viruses, microbes, fungi, invasive species, they are taking advantage. And so these are signals that there are potential even more problems for the future because it is disrupting ecosystems more and more.